Welcome back to another anime review. Today we're reviewing episode 5 of Mahoutsukai no Yome, or the Ancient Magus Bride. I'm Justin,
What is up? I'm Logan.
and together we're Couch Top. So of course, as always, we are anime viewers only, no spoilers down below. And we're gonna basically discuss the episode and then give our scores and review at the end. So let's just go ahead and jump into this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes. Right after the intro ends, we go right into the episode. We do finally learn the girl's name is Alice. I don't think they said that in the last episode, but they did say it this time around.
Yeah.
So picks up right where it left off. No damn flashbacks, no recaps like most other shows do. I ain't having none of that. And they have it's kind of a different take than we got from Lindell on Slay Beggies, at least about Chisei. Alice is telling her that they're treasures and their unending supply of magic, but they can die because they keep absorbing magic, it sounds like what she's saying.
Yes.
Because their bodies are fragile. But Lindell was saying if they use too much magic, they die. So it's kind of like catch-22 almost.
Right. But we do learn that they have an endless supply of magic, which would obviously, that's why they're so, I guess, sought after.
Yeah, I'm guessing magic is limited for other people.
As I say, especially in a world where like mages are disappearing.
Yes. So she's basically trapped in this body that she keeps absorbing magic, she'll die. If she keeps using magic, she'll die. And it's like a perfect balance you have to find, which I guess Elias's purpose is to train her to be able to control it. That way he can always have an endless supply.
That would be my guess.
If we're going on this whole Elias is a manipulator or not.
Well, we're also assuming this sorcerer lady is telling the truth, which she probably is to an extent.
Yes, because they're trying to twist it and make it a little. There's probably some truth and some lies to it, because they're trying to get her away from the corruption because they want it.
Right. They're like, we can save you from him. Like, he just wants to, use you for your magic.
Yeah, they're saying Elias has no feelings, stuff like that. But Chisei, of course, has to choose Elias because it's family. He's the only one that's ever acknowledged her.
Yeah, she did make a good point. She's like, he could not care, he could be lying or whatever, but he was the first one to acknowledge me as family. Which clearly means a ton to her.
Yes, because, well, she's been abandoned. She's had this terrible life. Even the Ariel is a close connection to her because there's not very many people who have acknowledged her or,
right.
Approached her and stuff. She loses her tracking device here Elias put on her. I don't know if it was just a tracking device, the ring, or if there was something more to it. Obviously, it had to be a tracking device. That's true without a doubt because he's been able to tell her perfectly whenever she's in trouble and stuff like that.
He always shows up at the last second. Which he did here.
Remember, he's a shadow. So we get to see why he's kind of called the Thorn Mage.
Yeah. This scene was super cool. They always have on-point animation and like music to go with it.
And we do get a little weird thing how she gets wounded. Elias just licks it up.
Yeah, that was...
I guess.
I have no idea. Maybe it's some... I don't know.
Maybe there's some use to the blood if it's consumed from a slave baggie, who knows? Or maybe he's just... It's a weird... Only way he can use his healing magic. But he basically makes Renfred and Alice run away with his thorn magic.
Yeah, that was I expected the sorcerer to put up somewhat of a fight.
No, he just
He's like,
all right. They can have the corruption. I'm out.
I'm see you. I'm done.
But the cats show up and we go. The king, cat. Can't remember her name for some reason.
We'll just call her King Cat.
We're terrible with names, so whatever.
There's so many names to remember.
And we got Chise, Ariel, and the cat. They all go into the corruption. Time for the cleansing. It's kind of. I was expecting like something from the outside, like a chant or something, not
Yeah.
to get dragged into the corruption.
Well, I think later on it's mentioned she has like some sightseeing ability.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe the natural cleansing would be all from the outside, but since she's special, she gets to see the memories. She's basically the memories of
Matthew and Mina.
Yeah, which are the corruption.
Yes. And it's kind of starts from here. It starts being a sad, sad story.
Yeah, it gets pretty sad. But we were kind of right. Because last week we mentioned how the sorcerer might have had an influence on Matthew. Which, that's exactly what happened.
Yes. So Matthew meets up with the sorcerer in this tavern. He showed up asking for medicine for his wife, Mina. And the sorcerer, it's like, yeah, of course, that's why I travel around, is to help people. But
Right.
as they're leaving, he has this crud smile on his face, which Chise recognizes right away. She's like, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's definitely manipulating Matthew.
Which we definitely see throughout the show. And I guess this is also why cats don't like sorcerers. So we get a little more into that. They're manipulative, they don't care, they kind of like do their own thing. Like, he's running, you'll later find out it's an experiment. So that's probably why they're lawless as well, as the cats were saying, because,
Right.
they're probably more willing to use human lives for experiments, whereas mages don't.
They just do their own thing. Whatever they feel they need to do, they do it.
So he goes and checks out the wife and says, "Oh, it'll be fine," to Mina or whatever. But outside, he's talking to Matthew, and he's like, "I'm sorry, but it's too late for her." And also, the cat, Tim, knows something's up, too.
Yeah, Tim's like staring down. He's like, "Oh shit,
Like,
something bad's
we
gonna
can't
happen."
trust that sorcerer, but...
Because we don't even know if the sorcerer was telling the truth in regards to like her well-being. Like, he could have been telling the truth and she doesn't have much to live, or he could have just been straight up lying just to use this guy.
I feel like there is a lot of truth to it, just because she has been frail and weak.
Yeah.
So, because he did say a few years left, so it's not like he said like a few days or something like that.
She's dying next week.
Dying next week. I need you to do all this right now. So he's like, well, cats have 9 lives. We can do something about that. Like, basically share the lives is what he's alluding to.
Right.
So,
he kind
of course.
Yeah. He's just basically like, hey, they have 9 lives, so I'm sure he tells them more, but it cuts off. He's probably like, you can use their lives to make this potion, which
is what we get into next, because like Mina's looking for him, doesn't find him in the town, so she heads out into the woods where people said they saw Matthew going. And when Mina gets there, she's getting ready to... First of all, we can see Matthew inside chopping something up, blood's gushing everywhere. Obviously, you can assume it's cats.
Yeah, it's cats. It's pretty messed.
And this is where, like, Mine's walking towards the door, and Chise, actually somewhat out of character, tries to keep Mine from going in, to, like, spare her from seeing all the hardships and deaths and stuff.
Right.
Like, she knows something bad's going. I say kind of out of character because she's not this emotionally attached person really yet.
Right,
So, like,
especially to someone she doesn't know.
exactly. Um,
But I
but I
feel
feel
like
like
she's like,
that's enough.
I think maybe Chise could relate to it because I think in her life she had a loved one that she saw a side she didn't really want to see, so she probably sympathized with Mina. Like, hey, don't go in there. You're gonna see something you wish you didn't see.
Plus, we do get a lot of the growth from Chisei from beginning to end.
Right.
But we can go into that a little bit when we get more of Chisei herself. Um, so Mina's like, "What's Matthew up to?" Goes in, just sees like so many cats dangling down.
At
Some of
first,
them are caged.
At first, I thought it was gonna be like one cat, him chopping one cat, but then it shows like 20 cats hanging from the ceiling, all
Well,
of
I
them
knew it'd be a
caged.
lot because like the town was like, "Why are there so many rats? Where are all the cats?"
Yeah.
And like he had like 30 and they're like 20 dangling, like 20 in cages. There's just so many cats.
It
And
was.
he's just
Woo.
chopping away at one, and he has like the creepiest smile when Mine walks in. He's like, "Mine, welcome back."
Yeah, he's clearly lost it. Like,
Yes, he is snapped.
man.
He just wanted to help save her.
Which it brings up
And
a good, because I saw someone bring this up. They're like, if someone in your family was deathly sick and some guy told you you could go kill some animals to make them better, probably most people would do it.
yeah, I would say I
It's
would
like
agree
a
with that. Like he he wants to save her so bad. And he's like, "What's a few cats?" You know,
right.
like granted, he went beyond a few cats, but
For real, he apparently killed a
he
tons of.
he like snapped with it too. You can't also snap when you're doing it because then you
Yeah.
lose sight of your own goal. And he kind of it seemed like he lost a little bit of his sight of his goal. Of course, he has this potion. It doesn't even look like quite a potion. It just looks like cat blood.
I know he killed like 30 cats for like a half teaspoon of potion or something.
It's like you got a small vial of potion, and I don't know like what all the ingredients are besides blood. He's like, well, cats is one of the ingredients. Like, what else do you have in there? It looks just like cat blood, and that's it. Like,
I'm sure the sorcerer gave him some
yeah,
supplies. Like, hey, when you get your cat blood, use it with this.
yeah. And even Mina was like, how could you do this? And he's like, it's for your sake. I would do anything.
Yeah, which is like, it's not necessarily the evilest thing because he's trying to save someone he loves, but since we can sympathize with the cats because we've seen that they're actual like, what's that word? Like sentient beings, like they're alive and have personality and they talk, but he clearly doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So he probably thinks of them as still animals, even though they're kind of not just animals since they have like these more human-like attributes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so, but Mine can't move all of a sudden because the sorcerer walks in. I'm guessing he kind of spellbound her, because she even said, I can't move.
Right.
And sorcerer, he is like, damn, dude, now you're definitely coming out as a little prick here. And he's like, you know what? Just swallow this potion. It's a magnificent drug. I was like, that's a weird choice of words. If you want to,
It's a magnificent drug.
and he's like, be a mouse for me. It's like, oh man, something so bad's gonna happen now. Obviously, we know something bad's happening because they're corrupted, but and it just like
this I did not expect.
Yeah, I did not expect how like he's like even Matthew's still not aware of it. He's like, oh, he said it hurts in the beginning. Doesn't know he's being this hardcore manipulated. Like,
right.
And she's just clearly in a lot of pain and implodes.
Yeah, she just like just burst into this what looks like the corruption. Like literally her entire being just disappears in a second.
Yeah, I think what's left is just her soul, basically. Like, It feels like the sorcerer is trying to do something with souls or something like that. Um,
Right.
because I
He
think he mentioned something about how like I know.
he also just casually like, he's like, "Oh, darn, it didn't work. I guess he's messed up now. Oh well, see ya." I'm like,
Yeah, and he's trying to condense souls. I don't know why he's trying to condense souls. He just says, "I'm out trying to. I'm gonna go back to figuring out how to condense souls." And yeah, it's like, thanks for the valuable research. Bye bye.
he, dude, sorcerers, like the impression you get from sorcerers, like, damn, they're pretty messed up. Like, if all of them are like this, they're definitely trouble.
And Matthew's so clearly like
He's
gone.
so far gone.
Like he's like, oh, I know what will save her by killing more cats. Or I didn't give her enough. It's like, how are you gonna give her more? She's
Yeah,
just
he just
a blob on the ground.
he clearly just snapped and lost his sense of like reality. He's like, "Oh, even the person who told him the solution pretty much said it didn't work." He's like, "No, no, no. If I give more, it'll work." It's like, "Damn, dude." You
But Tim shows up, Nene's cat. He's like, you know
I,
what, and just
I was so scared for Tim. I'm like, "Please, please don't kill Tim."
you know, Tim ends up being the first king and just bites out Matthew's throat. And it's like, you know what, you're a demon now. You're no longer human, and we have to put demon down.
Yeah, he's like, "You don't deserve a peaceful death." And we
And he
learned
does, like, from a cat perspective, he does not at all.
exactly. And we learned like last episode that they basically ate him and tore him to bits.
Yes. Um. So he kind of, with him begging for Mine so badly, and her soul being like cursed there on the ground, they kind of like combine, I
They're like
guess, and that's how
fused.
the corruption starts, and why they're both in the corruption together. And we go back to Chisei, and Chisei's crying, which is like the first actual full emotion we see from her.
I don't think we've seen her cry before.
No, it's like she's starting to get a sense of life again,
Right.
and she feels so sad by the others, like seeing their story, seeing their situation, that, and of course she's found like a home and a family now that, like we've been talking, she's been developing emotions from the previous episodes, but now they're actually getting to the point where they're fully developed
Yeah,
almost.
she's slowly starting to value her life again, I believe,
Yes.
compared to old Chisei where she just didn't even care about her life at all.
And after seeing those things, that's where we learn that like she's a little stronger than me and I thought, that she's able to see their memories and have the sight and stuff.
Right.
And she's like, finally, you can erase us. But as we say, like Chisei's finally to see like life and stuff, that she doesn't want to erase and destroy their souls. She wants to kind of like give them the afterlife they want or need.
Right, because even the king was gonna like basically sacrifice herself to guide them to this, whatever you want to call it, this non-existent place. Or I forgot. I don't even think they basically guide them to their erased.
The erased place.
Yeah,
But,
erased place.
Chisei doesn't. She's starting to care for him. She doesn't want to lose. She doesn't want the cat to die, clearly, because the cat has the human girl that she's connected with. And so she's like, what can I do to save them all? And she's actually trying so hard to come up the way, and like she's becoming human again almost. Like it's not like she wasn't human, she's becoming like, she has emotions, she's becoming fully human again or whatever. So she finally comes with a way, she thinks of a way and has Ariel use some magic, probably combined with some of Chisei's magic.
Right. She like scatters their souls, I guess, via like flowers.
Yeah, I guess that's.
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, she clearly doesn't erase them. I think she just like frees them of the corruption so they can go off into a peaceful death.
Yeah.
And their
So
souls can be at peace, I'm guessing.
Yes, and the animation in this scene is just so beautiful. Like especially how they have like Mine kind of like start becoming flower petals and coming off. Like it's just so well animated. It's just
and the music
really...
always matches. You have top-notch animation with top-notch music.
And she basically comes to the conclusion, like, she was saying, I was kicked out, I wandered endlessly, but now I've got a place where I belong. And she sees Elias in this world with her. And I think it ends off with her, oh, she found her perch, is what she said. So basically, she's landed after wandering for so long.
And then she also ended with, when am I going to die?
Yes, and what I like about this is the first line in the episode is, my death. Like,
right.
So, like, they connect the beginning and the end.
Right. And I also like this because I feel like she's no longer inviting death. She's like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the beginning and the ending, two questions, are kind of opposites. Like, my death in the beginning feels like, it's just going to be my death or whatever. Not like she's kind of, like, been inviting it, or she hasn't really cared about her life, so death didn't really mean much to her.
Right.
But now she's like, when am I going to die? Like,
yeah, kind of like worried, but to the point where, like, you can tell she cares. Like, now she isn't, she's like, well, maybe I don't want to die anymore. Like, I have a family, I have people who care, I'm developing emotions. Like,
yeah, like, I'm finally where I feel like I'm where I finally meant to be.
Right.
And now she's scared to lose it all.
Exactly.
Not where she was the last few episodes. But that does it for the entirety of the episode.
Yeah.
So we want to go into scores?
Time for scores.
Alright, I could start off. I'm going to give it an 8. Wait, do I want to give it a little higher? What is the 8? Maybe a little more. 8 to like an 8.4 range. First of all, the story from these last two episodes have been great. I loved the characters of Matthew and Mine, and it really shows like what love can do to you. Like, especially if you care for the other so much that you're willing to go to the ends to save them. We get a huge development from Chisei finally. We get her crying. We get her wondering about her death and actually not wanting to die. I am a little disappointed in the sorcerer mage kind of scene, how that ended just so abruptly between Elias and Renfred and Alice.
I feel he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll definitely be back. But other than that, it was a pretty solid episode.
Let's see. I'm probably gonna give it.
Go 10.
Huh? Go 10.
I said go 10.
I'll give it an 8.5. It's super. I don't know. I really just enjoy it. It makes you like. It brings out emotions when you're watching it, like a wide range of them. Chisei's character development has been pretty on point. Like, they just keep bringing out more and more of her, which is what we'd want to see.
Yeah, and it's really realistic too.
Yeah, it's not like a sudden change, but it's like you can see it gradually doing, and like certain moments will like have bigger impacts. And I think I mention this every time I give a score, but the animation and music are just super great. I just love them. They fit so well. That's the difference. Like, to me, music and animation aren't really like a big point, but when they're really well done, they actually do start standing out as like a point. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It just makes me want to see more. Like, because it kind of feels like the vibe that like each episode has been kind of like a one-off. Like, because like the first episode was just her. The second episode was like the Lindell. The third episode was... I can't remember. I think this was the first episode to go to be like a continuation.
Like a story went into 2 episodes.
Right. Oh no, I just enjoy it. It's just super well done.
Yeah, I agree. So that does it for our scores. I guess everyone knows what time it is.
Spiel time.
Alright, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Those help tremendously, especially for people finding the videos. Comment down below. Be sure. The interactions have been great. Be sure to, just let us know what you thought about the episode, what you enjoyed, didn't enjoy about it, what you think your score is. Let us know if there's anything we missed from the episode that was probably a big point that we didn't notice, and anything like that. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.
See ya.